Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Figma number 658DX Frieren from, well, Frieren. So you can see it there in front of our box. We're going to put it off the side real quick and take a look at the box. And yes, it is well, it's a very different kind of Figma box here. This is a DX edition, deluxe. So you got Frieren right there and a pose right there and a whole bunch, the Frieren logo, the Figma logo, Good Smile Company, Crunchyroll sticker for some reason. Figma right there. On this side, hey, you look at a little box inside the box. And of course, you got just, the Frieren logo right there. Again, right here you have a barcode, just a barcode, and on the back you have a bunch of product shots and warnings and stuff that basically say, hey, look, not for children because it's for 15 and up. And inside the slip cover you have, well, the normal Figma box, which, yep, it is a big old window. You can see the figure and everything and all what's included. You can see Frieren again, a different pose right there. Frieren in a pose. Frieren in a pose. Frieren in a pose. Frieren in the same pose at the top, and on the back again, most of the same product shots, and hey, again, all the same warnings and whatnot, including, hey, this is for not for children, it's for ages 15 and up. So there's that. And of course, included is the instructions, which are in both Japanese and in English, if you unfold all that. So tells you how to, interact with the figure in a way that won't break it. So there's that. So the figure herself, Frieren, can we get on a bit? Frieren, you can see, it's Frieren from the anime, or manga, I guess. Frieren. So Frieren. Or Frieren Beyond Journey's End, however you want to do it. But yeah, you can see there, she is her, well, elf self. And this, I believe, I think this is the default face. I might have actually gotten them swapped around, but yeah, you got her face right there. This one's got a bit of a smug smile. You got her big pointy ears, her twin tails, little red earrings, her outfit with the white and the little bits of red and a lot of the gold trim and everything, a bit of black there, the belt, little skirt, all that stuff, the boots, brown boots and everything, all that stuff is right there. Looks great sculpting wise. Of course, comes with a big old stand right here, very large stand for reasons become apparent somewhat quickly. And yeah, it's a pretty good looking Figma. As for posability, well, it's pretty, fairly standard, although there's some compromise here, but for the sake of, I guess, sculpting. But yeah, head, you can, ball joint and whatnot, forward and back, got all around and left and right and all that stuff. The twin tails right here, they're on ball joints at the base, so you can move them around like this. There's also a hinge as well, so you can move those, and there's another swivel right here below the hinge, so you have adjustments there. The shoulders are kind of interesting because these things are all, these little shoulder bits are on ball joints and hinges and stuff as well, and swivels. So yeah, to get out of the way, you can see the shoulder there can go up and down right there. You go forward and back. There's a lot of just ball joint type movement right there as well. You do have a silver swivel right there at the top of the elbow or the shoulder right there. You do have a elbow hinge right there. You can also swivel a bit at the elbow hinge as well, but you got a little bit of limitation due to sculpting. The hands can of course swivel around. There's also a hinge in the hand as well, at the wrist I should say. Down here at the waist you do have a waist joint. There's also an ab crunch, which works pretty well right there. You can see that ab crunch works pretty well. The waist swivel also works pretty well. The skirt is a bit of a more on the softer side of plastic, but it's not super soft, so you do have some limitations. Unfortunately, the hips, you do have actually a pretty decent amount of forward bend, but they can only go that far on the hip because of again the skirt and everything. Outward you only have again that much because of the skirt. There is a bit of thigh rotation right here. The knee can bend pretty well. Down here at the boot, everything, you do have a hinge right here at the ankle. You do have tilts as well as that, and of course you have a toe joint, quite a lot of toe. You basically break your toes right there. And all that stuff, as you can see, yeah, that's just kind of coming apart because of how there's a little gimmick there. So that comes apart kind of easily. There's actually two hinges. I didn't mention. Yeah, there's actually two hinges here. There's one up here, which also allows, I almost forgot, yeah, as well. Also allows a bit of a side to side as well. And that also can swivel separately. So you can actually get a fairly natural swivel for the most part. So there is that. One thing is these kind of get a little in the way in the sense that, like, yeah, you're going to have to deal with those when you do some of the more extreme poses, I guess. She can also stand by herself, although it doesn't take much to also make her fall over, so just be aware of that. So just an FYI, there is a reason for the stand, which, yeah, the stand here, you see there's multiple peg holes for the actual arm, but yeah, there's, you know, you can swivel there, you can hinges right there, and it can also swivel up here. This is also one of two pieces, so there's an alternate one for a particular pose. I'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, and of course, yeah, just pegs in the back. It's a hexagonal peg, so just make sure to, you know, mind the orientation of the peg on there before you try to plug it in, so you don't accidentally, you know, mess anything up. So that's the posability. As for accessories, well, of course, you get a bag to put all your accessories in, just a plastic bag with the Figma logo on it. Get that. You do have, let's see, you have a plinth of alternate hands, which there's two on top of the hands right there, which are just kind of casually open hands. You have closed fists, you have gripping hands, and one of them is a hand with a ring on it, because, yep. You have her staff right here, done a nice crimson color for the staff, and you got a nice metallic red right here with the little strap and everything. Looks good. The strap itself is on there's a little swivel right there, so you can adjust the orientation depending on how she's holding it. You have alternate faces, including kind of her little, I just call it the Frieren face right there. You have this face, kind of a little mouth as a dot for reasons. And you have, this is the more serious face right there, as well as her smiling face right there. And of course, you also have the skirt piece, which allows her to sit down if you want to, you know, adjust that in a little bit. You have this little replacement joint piece just in case for the wrists, and you have the alternate stand piece for basically if you want her up in the air, because she does that sometimes. And if you have this is because the deluxe edition also comes with well, a mimic right here, which has, hey, look, a little bit of Frieren in there already. If you want, also, you can also remove this piece and close it entirely, so it just, well, looks like a normal treasure chest right there. And you also have the DX version. You have the little heart, the blowing the kiss hand with the heart and everything, which is, yeah, the little, that one face is for, so you can give it a little chew and try to seduce someone, I guess. And of course, if you pre-order from Good Smile directly, you got this bag, big old bag right here. It says 658DX on it. And that came with these two little stand pieces, which attach to that stand right there. And these are little clips, essentially. You see these little clips, and they have little armatures and whatnot. Each one has 3, plus they can swivel at the top. And it also comes with this, the Zoltrack bit. Yeah, it comes with a little Zoltrack design magic thing. So yeah, those are the accessories, and yeah, swapping accessories out is pretty straightforward, you know, for the most part, you know. Faces are pretty straightforward in the sense, like, yeah, you know, just pop the hair off, and then pop the face off, and pop that on. Right there, and then pop the hair back on, there you go. Face swapped. And of course, hands are also pretty straightforward, you know, just, yeah, they recommend, you know, put it at an angle first, then pop it off. That puts less stress on the hand as a whole. And then you can, you know, take an alternate hand and put it on, if you like. So, and with this hand, with, you know, with the staff, you can just pop the top off right there and slip it through the hand. Like that, and put this back on, and now she is wielding her staff. Pretty straightforward, that. Pretty straightforward. Right. As for, and of course, you got, yeah, this part right here, you just, you know, pulling this off. Put that, stay standing for your, please. You can pull this part off right here. Swap out the extended one. So if you want her to take flight, you can. Yep. That just plugs in, and now she's up in the air. And you can pose her as you want. Pose her up there like that as you want, if you like. So there is that. And of course, yeah, the skirt piece, this is kind of an interesting bit. So this with the skirt, what you do is you separate, yeah, this bit right here. You're going to have to bisect her. And this part right here, you just pull this off right here, like so. And this part pops off the back, like that. And that's the skirt pieces off. You can just kind of put these off to the side. On this part, what you do is you separate them, like that. And this part right here, see, right here, there's little pegs inside the skirt. You separate all that, yeah. Little pegs inside the skirt, which go into the little holes in the back there. This goes, feeds in a little square bit, and this here just goes over top and then pegs in like that. And then you just reattach it. And now she can sit, say, also like on a chest. And her hand can come off. It was not intentional, I swear. The only thing, of course, yeah, is getting her to balance on here is a little bit tricky. Getting her to balance on this is a little bit tricky, unfortunately. Which is probably why you should probably go ahead and still use the stand. But yeah, it's yeah, that's the idea there. And of course, also this is compatible in such a way that, yeah, you can open that up and put this back in. Putting this back in, we're trying to. And yeah, you just, again, separate that part, and then you just, take this peg right here inside the mimic, and then just attach it here. And there you go. Yeah, now you got Frieren once again trapped in a mimic because she just couldn't help herself. Yeah. So that's pretty much almost everything. Yeah, of course, the last bit I'm going to show off here, yeah, the pre-order parts, just real quick. Okay, so the pre-order parts, yeah, you got, Frieren here, and like, hey, look, a cool pose right here. Yeah, you plug these onto the stand, like that or something, and then I'm going to have to make some tweaks, but yeah. Plug these on the stand, because you're going to need both of them, because, again, thing is that Zoltrack effect part is massive. So yeah, you just, put that on there like this, and, clip it on. That, and, there you go. Now she's doing Zoltrack stuff, which is cool. And yeah, this thing could also plug in there as well as just like the hands and everything. Yeah, other hands. So yeah, there you go. Overall, the only thing I would really complain about is the shoulders are weird. Those little shoulder bits are a little annoying to deal with, because yeah, the way they work, it's kind of a weird looking thing. That's my only real complaint, actually. Everything else is pretty cool. The parts work really well. They swap really easily. The parts work great. The perks were great. Everything swaps around really nicely. It's pretty simple. The only thing I forgot to mention was this skirt right here. When you're putting it back together for the standing skirt back together, you want to attach the front part first, then the back part. It makes it, otherwise it doesn't sit properly. And this also right here, I will mention, is hard plastic. So be careful. This is not malleable plastic like this stuff. This is hard plastic. This can break. So just be aware of that. But yeah, generally it's a fun figure. If you like Frieren, this is a pretty good buy. There's also, of course, the non-DX version, which does not come with the Mimic or the Chew hand. So, make your choices from there. But yeah, this thing cost me what? I want to say like $160 with tariffs and everything. It wasn't that terrible. But, it was kind of still like, ugh, when it came out. So, hey. I was with tariffs and everything. So, yeah, it wasn't terrible, but it was a little like, oh gosh. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it's a pretty solid figure in the eye. If you like Frieren, which you should, because it's a great show, and probably great manga as well. So yeah, pick it up if you don't like it. Hopefully they're going to do a Fern, maybe in Stark as well. Maybe, I don't know. I'd like those. Just saying, have the whole party. Yeah, it's a solid figure. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my Coffee Man Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.